Yeah, it came as a bit of a shock. After seeing him, probably only 10 or so days ago, and it was the best he'd looked for a while.
A bit of a shock, to be honest. I think we always knew it was coming, but for it to finally happen, it was still quite a shock to us. So it was a very, very sad day.
On the tour last year, he was a little bit sick, and he sent a message through a couple of days before the test in Leeds, and he said, I'm not too well. If I do pass away, please do not come back for the funeral. And his last wish was I want you and Gup to bat together. So Kane nicked off, and I went out to bat, and glove punched Gup, and we both sort of said at the same time, well, this is for Hogan type thing. I think we were about 2 for spit at the time, and obviously, he lived on, and but he said he watched that innings and from hospice, and it was pretty emotional time for everyone involved. But that'll be something that I'll never forget.
I think that we had a couple of sessions together back in 2010, but it wasn't until probably 2004 that we really started working a lot closer together and start having this close relationship. And the last 2 years or so has been it's been invaluable, and I'll never forget my time with him.
I was just talking to Smithy one day, and I said, I didn't really know what I was doing for my cricket. I was just playing and enjoying it. But I said I wanted to be a better player, and he said, I think it's about time you gave Martin Crowe a call. And he could, after the relationship developed, he could tell within the first 4 or 5 balls whether I was going to score runs or whether I wouldn't. And he was a pretty hard taskmaster, but at the same time he knew when to cuddle you as well when things weren't going too well. Some of my best innings came about from the advice that he gave the night before. I definitely don't think I'd be the player that I would be today without a lot of guidance and that he gave me throughout my career and during probably the tough times as well. I think he went through a lot of that himself during his career, and he was able to pass on how he dealt with it. The innings in Perth, I think it was I just come back from the operation, batted pretty poorly in Perth. In Brisbane, and he'd had a lot of success there. So he was, he's always telling me get forward until pushed back, and until they push you back. The whole time that was the catch cry, and then it was probably one of the first times in my career I sort of started to doubt, how long I was going to play in this game, and whether it was a coincidence. He wrote a 1.5 page letter, one of the most amazing letters I've ever had pleasure of reading, and it was about me and just a little reminder of why you play this game. And even on day one, I didn't even bat on day one, but he reiterated why we play this game, and I'm sure in time I'll show people the email, but it was pretty special, and I must admit it. I definitely wouldn't have got 290 without this email. But in saying that, he sent a message after I bet his record of 188 and said that was the only record he was proud of, and I took that off him. But at the same time, he was still in good enough spirits to tell me that I still don't have a high enough. His test score was higher than mine at 299, so that put me back down to it very quickly. And he was very proud of the way I batted that day. And as I said before, without that email, people might think it's only a small thing, but it had a big influence on the way I batted that game.
All the dealings I had with him, he was very positive, and just wanted to push me and to be the best that I can be. And I've got all our stuff that we've ever worked on together. I've got it locked away in my head, and something I'll never forget, and something I'll always carry with me for the rest of my career.
He loved the game, and he wanted to give back, and I think, I think he saw what I wanted to do, and I hope that I was able to, give him a little bit of personal satisfaction out of my career, because he did give me a lot.